Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to start. I guess everyone's sitting down, everyone's in the right room. You're going to get a fashion show this evening. First things first, I must point out that in the event of an emergency, there are a number of exits clearly marked behind you and in front of you to either side of the stage. Take good note of those, and let's hope we never have to use them. Welcome to the 9th annual Spring Splash, hosted by the University of Rhode Island's Department of Textiles, Fashion Merchandising and Design. The theme for the evening is Fashion for the City. A little more about that in a moment. My name is Martin Bide. I'm a member of the faculty, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. You'll see in the program that we have major support this evening from the Jones Group, both corporately and in the person of their CEO and his wife, Wesley and Diane Card. We have support from Macy's and the TJX companies. Without them, the show could not go on. We also appreciate the generous support from the other sponsors mentioned in the program: Time Inc., TLC Boutique, My Best Friend's Closet, and Rentham Outlets. Thanks to all those. You'll meet our dean and our other members of the faculty later on in the proceedings. And now to the business, the fashion show. We're about to see 64 designs organized into 16 collections by 10 designers. A new twist this year is that the show will travel to New York next week to be shown in the heart of the fashion district at the Jones Group headquarters. This will be part of a reception honoring Betty Kirk, former Textile Advisory Board member here at URI, and the author of an award-winning book on the great Paris couturier Madeleine Vionnet. Also honoring Elaine Mack, URI class of 1958, who is head personal shopper at Bergdorf Goodman in New York City. Reflecting on that coming event, that leads to our theme of Fashion for the City. Over the past few weeks, the sewing machines have been overheating in room 301 of Quinn Hall as the apparel production lab has turned into our own sweatshop. And before the garments even made it to tonight's show, they went through 2 tough rounds of judging. The first round involved an initial screening with comments on construction and other fixable details. The judges were Diane Martin, Program Director of the Rhode Island Sewing Network and instructor in our apparel course, and Margaret Ordonez, a member of the faculty and director of our historic textile and costume collection. If they made it that far, the second round of judges saw the garments on models and considered how well they fit. Carl Asplund is the author of The Design Process and Fashioning Society. He was one of those second round judges. He's going to be joining the TMD department full-time starting in July. And Meg DeKubelis is an experienced apparel designer and now teaches at RISD before she came here to teach our draping course last year. What you are about to see are those that survived that selection process, and the winners so far are competing for prizes totaling $2,500. And they're going to be judged by our final round judges, Jeffrey Butterworth, a TMD grad and professor in the Department of Performing Arts at CCRI, Susan Cohen, an agent for the Worth Collection, a member of TMD's advisory board, and Rachel Lesney, another TMD grad who founded and owns the award-winning Green Envy Eco Boutique in Newport. You can read the full bio of all those judges in your program. Now for the final piece of the puzzle. The judges are going to be judging fit and visual presentation as they come down the runway. And the 4 prizes they will be awarding are most innovative, most marketable, best sewn quality, and judge's choice. That's 4 prizes. There's a 5th, and that's the one that you are going to be judging for the Audience Favorite Award. The prize is going to be for what you think is the best collection. And in your program are listed all the various collections, 16 of them. The ballot is your ticket. So hold on to your ticket, keep track of which collection is coming down the runway and which ones you like, and at the end of the show, write down the name of that collection and we will collect and have the audience favorite award. So everyone's got a tough task ahead to find out which is the best this evening. So without more ado, let's get on with the show.
Bring it back on it, give me the thing, me come a walk black on it. Mine it, wiggle it, set it up on it. Two more shots, now we in hot on it. Two girls, them ready for jump on it. Two to my word, me ready for jump on it. Ready for rip on it, ready for jump on it. Tag team in, so I chuck up on it. Hands up, high, be burning up the sky. You got the dance hard face, you got the top on fire. I like the way you dance, you got me in a chance. I made me see no mind at all. Whiny girl, same time my time, she a timing girl. Same time I line me, I line it up for good sign it. Time me a priming girl. This is the time I'm a climbing girl. The temperature, the climate girl. Me a priming, she combine it.
针用时间灌溉，美好未来空间就打开。明明还能受到青睐，又何必拖拍？我懂我让自己等待，不就是等现在？明天过后若世界还在，我愿问你。
Rap to you real quick. I want to enjoy the luxury of life, not knowing each other for real. Hold up.
Love is not about butterfly. When in love, she take me high. I can teach you all the sounds of love.
Flower bomb, let me guess your favorite fragrance. You got that bomb. I'm trying that in nature. No disrespecting, baby. Just try and make me smile. Try to keep my spirits up. That's why I lace it down. Try to keep your spirits up. Level vodka, whatever. Took it forever. Took it dressed. I acknowledge your effort. So I clap for her. She deserves an applause. Shawty working so hard. She deserves every song. Shawty, wear your baton. Racing through my mind like she heard that. I got that word. I heard that she been on strike. Here to tell, read your mind. She been on them dollars first. Caramel, macchiatos with Shawty getting work. I can be your boyfriend, be your girl on it with perks. I'm just trying to work that. They just trying to work your nerves. I'm just trying to read your mind. I'm just trying to feed you mine. I'm just trying to give you light. They just trying to live your life.
Fantasy, I feel it when you dance with me. It's feeling like you need to be my lady, my baby. Yeah. Can't you see? I'm talking about it down and out. Tell me would you? 劝着不要被欣赏又颠倒，无所谓不重要，我想你睡不好，爱你像蚂蚁咬，告白不是祈祷，只想让你知道，你也有好感，为何你不勇敢向前？我撤掉所有阻碍，只让你在眼前，幸福只要面对当然不需要训练，做人要潇洒一点，我掌握世界。我喜欢你，别压抑，不是秘密，我相信爱情是撒手就不爱不行。我喜欢你，我喜欢你，爱情只是练习，我相信爱情是撒手就全心全意。I want it, you like it.
It's a hit, man. Make her the feel it. You know the name, right? One month and a city. Hey, baby, you done beat me too much. It's smart, make I see your dimple. Really good, I'm loving your touch. Hey, bad girls, when you know the lingo. I never ever say you bye-bye. Never ever leave you single. Hey, anytime I did by your side, you make me feel so simple. Simple, my baby, simple. You make me simple. You treat me right, smart, make I see your dimple. Simple, my baby, simple. You make me simple. It's the K, it's the K. The numbers are sunny, the and the DN, change you within and I'm a favorite sweet girl, Nim the Abba, my jammy pretty girl, sick of it, you where you did it, my heart beats where. Oh, no, when they got the same teddy bear. No, pussy got some money, money girl. On the flower, touch your shower, put down with girl, then if any grab a shower, feel anybody girl. Halle Berry, Debbie, on your first chain, Halle Berry. One hit scene, one my crew, and my yes, celebrity. But to me, mama straight, just a Teletubbies. Very funny, say. Hey, baby, you the baby too much. It's smart, make I see your dimple. Really glad I'm loving you, Dad. Hey, bad girls, me and the bingo. I never ever say you bye-bye. Never ever leave you single. Baby, never leave by your side. You make me feel so simple. Simple, but baby, simple. You make me simple. You treat me right. Smart, make I see your dimple. Simple, but baby, simple. You make me simple.
说好，梦和现实对调，穿越了城市的喧闹，心跳却感应不到。夜太深，心跳了，已经遗失了，不见了。心跳了，慢慢停止了，不爱了。你紧紧拥抱我入睡，曾经是永恒的画面，心疼着你的爱，残酷的纪念。在宣告，不等答案揭晓，我选择潇洒走掉，把家重新打扫，用香水味改掉，但今生是一场海啸，心跳被吞噬掉，别太深，心跳了。已经遗失了，不见了，心疼了。
So this is our 9th show. I tell you, it keeps getting better and better every year. No matter who takes away the prize this evening, it's obvious that they've all been working very, very hard. They love what they do. And let's give them a final round of applause. Now the hard work begins for the judges. They're going to go retire and consider their verdicts. And now it's also your turn to vote. So again, please consider the name of your favorite collection from those 16 collections. If you can borrow a pen from your neighbor if you didn't bring one, write the name on your ticket and we'll be around to collect your votes. Time to move on to the next item on our program this evening. Our Alumni Wall of Fame. TMD, Textiles, Fashion, Merchandising and Design, has come a long, long way since clothing and textiles was part of home economics at URI. It's now a program of about 400 majors who are studying in a truly interdisciplinary field. They study business, sociology, art, science, history, all held together with the common threads of textiles. It's also a global field. Look at the labels in your clothes. And 40 or 50% of our students will study abroad as part of their degree. If you don't already know us, go visit our website, come and visit our building in Quinn Hall, come see us, get to know us. Our alumni number in the thousands. We enjoy hearing of their success and we want to hear more and more of it. This evening we're continuing to celebrate the success of alums who've gone before and to tell stories that give the students of today achievements to aspire to. So let me introduce my colleague, Dr. Margaret Ordonez, who is going to welcome the 2012 inductees into our Alumni Wall of Fame. Margaret.
I'll just be tall. This is one of my favorite parts of the program tonight. Jody Baldwin, will you come up, please? Jody has a bachelor's degree from Textiles, Fashion, Merchandising, and Design. She juggled two interests while she was studying here at URI, fashion design and costume design for the stage. While her fashion designs graced our TMD, URI catwalk, her costume designs appeared on stage in the Fine Arts Center. She was a wardrobe supervisor for a number of films, such as 27 Dresses, The Proposal, Whip It, and We Need to Talk About Kevin. We always enjoyed seeing her come by the department when she was in town working on a movie that was being filmed nearby. She was costume designer for the film Friends with Benefits and has worked on TV series including The Brotherhood and John Adams. Seeing a need to incorporate recycling on movie sets, Jody founded the Film and Entertainment Recycling Initiative, which recycled over 15,000 pounds of material in its first 5-month period. Is that still going on?
Yeah, I'm still trying to keep going.
She's still trying to keep it going. So, with pleasure, where do we stand? Somebody taking pictures? Well, just in case.
I was totally surprised when I got the email from Dr. Welters. I think I was doing one of my more glamorous tasks, which is laundry. I'm a well-paid laundry girl, so even though I work with Hollywood talent, they still stink and spill stuff on them just like we do. But I'm very honored. I wanted to work in movies in the wardrobe department since I was 13, but I did not want to go to Los Angeles or New York City. I wanted to go to a school that had a really good historic costume program, because the wardrobe you see on films, whether it's a contemporary film or a period piece, to me, the most exciting thing for me was how that portrays the character and the psychological aspects and stuff. And when I came here and saw the wonderful collection that's at URI, I was really excited. And so I've used those conservation skills in the movies, and also I think my favorite class, clothing and human behavior. I see that every day because we provide the talent with clothing and it changes their character, it changes the behavior. So we play little experimentize with them, but I'm happy to use my skills, and I'm very honored. Thank you very much.
Jody just returned from Florida from working on a film. Good time to return. Bethany Pollock, will you come up, please? After graduating with a bachelor's degree in textile marketing, Bethany began her career as outdoor sales manager for Dartex Coating. For a few years, she worked in the pharmaceuticals industry, and in 2007 returned to textiles as client development manager for Propel LLC, which is headed by Claire King, a former Textile Advisory Board member. Propel LLC is a product innovation management company specializing in the development and marketing of military and homeland security textile technologies. Bethany has just been named a rising star in the Governor's Workforce Board. And so, you want to come back here? Present this to you, and you're welcome. What would you like to say a few words?
Just wanted to say a brief thank you, and what an honor and a surprise it was to find out about this award. My education at the University of Rhode Island Textiles program has prepared me more than I could have ever imagined for what I do on a day-to-day basis, and I'm happy to be able to put that to use. Thank you.
Kate Irving. Kate is received her master's degree from our program, and after writing an intellectually challenging thesis entitled Cross-Cultural Dressing in Arab Lands, Isabel Eberhardt and T.E. Lawrence, one of her committees commented that it was as good as a PhD dissertations, and I agree. Her internship at the Rhode Island School of Design's Museum of Art morphed into a curatorial position there. She's risen quickly in the ranks, and today she is the curator and department head of the costume and textiles at the museum. Her achievements are even more remarkable considering that she's the mother of 3 young children, including a set of twins, and aren't they all boys? They're all boys, yes.
I will. Thank you. Thank you. It's such an honor to receive this award and to share the stage just for a second with such amazing talent. I must say it doesn't come as any surprise that such creativity and craftsmanship and scholarship comes out of the immersive environment of the TMD's department, both the graduate and undergraduate programs. The range and depth of experience of the faculty really just seeps into all parts of instruction. All of the courses that I had, and of course costume and textile history, but just thinking about pattern making, textile science, even merchandising informs what I do on a daily basis. Even after 8 years of practical experience at the RISD Museum, I'm still daily thinking about what the foundations of what I learned in Dr. Ordonez's conservation lab and Dr. Welter's history of dress classes. Well, Dr. Bide's textile science class was taught by Dr. Ordonez when I was here, so I never had Dr. Bide. No. Thank you very much.
She escaped. You will need to pass your ballots to the end of the row so that the ushers can collect them for the vote on the audience favorite. So if you've written on your ticket and you've voted, just slide them along to the end of the row and they'll be collected. Thank you, Margaret. Some worthy additions to our famous alums, and we're always looking for more, so if you know of any shining examples, please do let us know. Next item is celebrating our industry partners. Our disciplines in TMD are based in real-world practicality, and we rely on close contacts with a wide range of outside organizations to broaden the learning of our students and provide support for our goals. The Spring Splash is an opportunity to say thanks to some of those. As with the alums, we look forward both to saying thanks to others in future years and to developing a whole bunch of new relationships. To introduce our industry partners for 2012, here's our favorite dean, Dean of the College of Human Science and Services, Lynn McKinney. And by the way, this is Lynn's swan song in this job. He's retiring at the end of the academic year, and we will miss him. Lynn.
It's not hard to be the favorite when you're the only dean they have. We have 3 honorees tonight. Would Wes Card come forward, please? Over its 40-year history, the Jones Group has developed a distinct culture that emphasizes product innovation, consumer-focused marketing, efficient and industry-leading operation platforms, and long-term strategic planning. This corporate philosophy has allowed them to continuously reinvent and adapt their business profile and product mix for the benefit of both customers and shareholders. The Jones Group maintains a portfolio of highly recognizable and desirable brands such as Jones New York, Anne Klein, Casper, Nine West, Easy Spirit, Gloria Vanderbilt, Bandolino, and Rachel Roy. CEO of the Jones Group since July 2007 as Wesley R. Card, URI 1970. He was president from July 07 to February 2010, chief operating officer from 2002 to 2007, and also chief financial officer during 2007 and from 1990 to 2006. Executive vice president from the Jones Group since 2002 is Ira M. Dansky, URI 1967. He is also general counsel since 96 and secretary since 2001. Wes Card. You're supposed to step out here.
Well, thank you, Dean. I didn't realize I was going to be receiving an award tonight and also have to work here tonight as well. But it's really my pleasure to be here. I owe a lot to the University of Rhode Island. I'm a native Rhode Islander, along with my wife, Diane, who's sitting around the middle of the auditorium. Stand up and wave, Diane. Sure, stand up. My wife and I actually met here on a blind date at a fraternity party 46 years ago. And we've been married for 42 years, have 3 sons, 8 wonderful grandchildren. So it's to that I owe a lot to the University of Rhode Island and pretty much my whole life. But I also, the education I got here and the dream that I had, I think really served me well over my, over 40 years of working. I actually achieved my dream job. I love what I do. But there are so many things that I use day to day that I can really look back to this university for having provided the base of. And I would say to all of the talent that we've seen on the stage tonight and to the other honorees, the congratulations and the talent that you've displayed, chase your dream. We have 17 people working for us in various capacities, general counsel, designers, merchandisers. Several of them are on the Wall of Fame here as well. One of them actually graduated 3 years ago and has had her design hanging on the racks at Macy's and probably a few left over for TJ Maxx as well. So you can really achieve your dream. Just use your education, really go for it. And I am sure with the talent that I saw coming out here, there'll be some very prominent designers coming out of this university from tonight and going forward. So thank you. My pleasure to be here this evening. Thank you, Dean.
Macy's, Inc., with corporate offices in Cincinnati and New York, is one of the nation's premier retailers, with fiscal 2011 sales of $26.4 billion. The company operates about 800 Macy's department stores and furniture galleries in 45 states, the District of Columbia, Guam, and Puerto Rico, as well as Macy's.com. The Bloomingdale's brand includes 37 department stores and home stores in 11 states, 7 Bloomingdale's outlet stores, and Bloomingdale's.com. Bloomingdale's also operates in Dubai under a lease agreement with Al Taylor Group, LLC. Prior to June 1, 2007, Macy's, Inc. was known as Federated Department Stores, Inc. Karen Konopask is receiving the award on behalf of Macy's. Karen, would you come forward, please?
Thank you. This award from Macy's, actually we should give credit to Wes Card for this. He has been very instrumental in helping us get support from Macy's. We also have many of our graduates that work at Macy's department stores, so in thanking for Macy's as well. Thank you.
And finally, the TJX Companies, Inc. is the leading off-price retailer of apparel and home fashions in the United States and worldwide, ranking 119th in the most recent Fortune 500 listings. With nearly $22 billion in revenues in 2010, more than 2,800 stores in 6 countries, and over 160,000 associates, the companies consider themselves as a global off-price value retailer. The target customer is a middle to upper middle income shopper who is fashion and value conscious and fits the same profile as a department or specialty store shopper. TJX operates 4 major divisions with chains that include TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and HomeGoods in the U.S., Winners, HomeSense, and Marshalls in Canada, and TK Maxx and HomeSense in Europe. Over the years, the TJX companies have hired many of our graduates to work at their corporate offices in Framingham, Massachusetts. TJX executives have served on the Textiles Advisory Board and spoken to TMD classes. The TJX Foundation has granted $5,000 for scholarships 3 separate times. Also accepting this award for TJX is Karen Konopask.
Maybe I should explain why I'm accepting all these awards. My position here at the College of Human Science and Services is the Assistant Dean for Development. So my job is that I get to go around and meet many of our graduates that work in the different industries. And so I've had the pleasure of meeting with our graduates that work at TJX, that work at Macy's, and that work at Jones. And in doing so, I've helped support some of the programs that we do here. So in relationship to TJ Maxx, I'd like to thank you for this award.
Thank you very much, Lynn. As I said before, this is the 9th Spring Splash, as well as a celebration of the department's talented students. The evening raises money that helps TMD and its students in many ways. As Karen mentioned, we raise funds for this. Funds become scholarships. We invited students to apply for those scholarships earlier in the year and received many worthy applicants. Here to present the Spring Splash scholarships for this year are my colleagues, Dr. Linda Welters, Dr. Blair Gagnon, and our newest member of the faculty, Dr. Sheng Lu.
Hello, everybody. We have several students who will be coming to the stage. The first one is Christy Giannetti. A model, too. Christy is a sophomore from Franklin, Massachusetts, and she's majoring in textiles, fashion merchandising, and design, and minoring in theater costume design. She's been on the dean's list every semester since she arrived, and is enrolled in the honors program. In the spring of 2011, she was inducted into the university's chapter of Phi Eta Sigma National Honor Society. We have a certificate coming? Want to say something? No? Okay. Good job. Leslie Govalet is our second recipient, and she's from North Kingstown, Rhode Island, very local. She's a junior majoring in textile marketing and has also been on the dean's list every semester and is a member of the National Society of Collegiate Scholars and the Golden Key International Honor Society. She hopes to participate in the TMD Winter Study Tour next January. We had a really great time this year, so we hope we repeat that. Congratulations. Nicholas Kleiner is our third recipient. He is not here tonight because he's doing an internship in Washington, D.C. with the D.C. Fashion Incubator. And he is from Union, Maine, and said, unfortunately, I'm unable to attend the Spring Splash show as I will still be in D.C. for my internship. Thank you so much for this honor. Raina Perry is our next recipient. Raina is a double major in Spanish and textile fashion merchandising and design. We have quite a few of our majors who double major in a language. Spanish is one of them, Italian and French are two others. She's a sophomore from Tiverton, Rhode Island, and hopes to work in the interior design field after graduation. She says, I am so thankful that I found the TMD program because I could not be happier with the courses and the professors that I've had the pleasure of taking so far, which is music to my ears since she's in my class this semester. Is Raina here tonight? She was in class today. Must be working. Okay. Jenna Sacco is our next recipient. She's a junior from Marshfield, Massachusetts in textiles, fashion, merchandising, and design. She transferred to URI from Keene State College because she heard great things about our program and knew she wanted to receive her education at URI. She hopes to study in Florence, Italy, for one semester during her junior year. Jenna? A lot of rustling back there. Oh, well. Okay, next, Stephanie Segal is a junior who's double majoring in textiles, fashion, merchandising, and design, and political science. She has been active in the URI Student Senate, first as a freshman representative, then as secretary, and now as treasurer. And for the first time in my memory, we have one of our own majors who's going to be the president of the student body next year. She's from Lake Ronkonkoma in New York. Not here either. Busy. I know that Stephanie's very busy with all the obligations so far. And the last student that I'm going to be announcing is Jennifer Wadisky, and I know she's somewhere else on campus. There's another event with sororities down in the gym area. I think she's singing. Jennifer is a sophomore from Natick, Mass., who is majoring in textile marketing, and she has done a lot of fundraising for Sigma Delta Tau sorority, and she's been on the dean's list every semester, so we congratulate her also. Now, the next person up will be Sheng Lu, who's our new professor in the textile marketing area, and he is from Shanghai, China.
Well, good evening. For the third time, the TJX Foundation has granted $5,000 to support students from disadvantaged populations with TJX stores in their communities. Two winners of the $1,250 scholarship are being announced tonight. The first one goes to Marilyn Sellers. Unfortunately, she's not with us tonight. Marilyn Sellers is a talent student who transfers from URI from completing coursework at the Community College of Rhode Island. She started out in business, but quickly found TMD and she changed her mind. After joining TMD, she participates in several groups on campus, including the Fashion Merchandising Society. She's from a Dominican household and loves to shop at TJX and Marshall's. Yes, good choice, good choice. Well, the second award goes to Andrea Prestes. Hope I pronounced her name correct. Andrea, would you please come to the stage? Andrea is a junior TMD major with a minor in communications, who hails from Connecticut. During her first 2 years at URI, she was a work-study student in the HS Dean's office, assisting the college's financial manager. Last summer, she interned at Kamaloop in Boston, and this year she plans a second internship at LIT Boutique in Boston. All right, Andrea.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Except I think I need that. I've been cracking the whip backstage. I have the honor of helping to award 2 graduate student scholarships. I am Dr. Blair Gagnon. I am a graduate of this department, and now I'm getting to be the old person after a couple of years as we hire new people. First thing, I would like to invite Gretchen White to come up and help me with our first award. The Weavers Guild of Rhode Island is awarding a scholarship of $1,000 to one of our TMD graduate students. That student is Mary Elizabeth Corrigan. Go right ahead.
I'd like to take a moment to speak of a member of the Rhode Island textile community who is not with us tonight. Bertha Gray Hayes lived in Providence in the first half of the 20th century. She was born a decade after the end of the Civil War, and dying in 1947, she lived through some of the most dynamic times of our country. She was a single woman. She was a clerk and bookkeeper for the Providence Gas Company at a time when the citywide records were kept on filing cards. Studying by mail and working on a small metal tabletop loom, she became part of the hand-weaving renaissance in the United States in the early part of the 20th century. She was a personal correspondent of many of the most important names of that time and field, such as Mary Meigs Atwater and Marguerite P. Davidson. Miss Hayes took the traditional technique of overshot, most familiar to us from colonial coverlets, and developed her own style, small asymmetrical patterns, strikingly modern, with the motifs developed and named after contemporary political events and trends such as bomber flight, superhighway, parachute, or song titles such as Fantasia, films, Gone with the Wind, dances such as Jitterbug, and local places in Providence like the Dexter Training Ground and Miriam Hospital. 4 members of the Weavers Guild of Rhode Island have made a study of Miss Hayes' life and a compilation of her designs and correspondence. From the royalties of this book, we are very pleased to offer for the 3rd year a scholarship to a textile student here at URI in honor of Bertha Gray Hayes. And this year it is our pleasure to announce that that recipient is Mary Elizabeth Corrigan, a graduate student in historical costume and textiles.
I'll just tell you a little bit about Mary Elizabeth. She's one of our 2nd-year master's students, and she's specializing, as said, in historic costume and textiles. She's also serving as the manager for our textile conservation lab for the past year, as well as being my teaching assistant, which she does very well. She wants to work as a textile conservator in the museum field after she graduates, and expectation December 2012, we'll see. She has a Bachelor of Arts in History from Eastern Illinois University. The second scholarship that we are giving out is the EB and SS Textile Conservation Scholarship. Elsie Brown, class of 37, and Susan Smith, class of 65, established recently an endowment to support textile conservation. This year's scholarship supports a textile conservation student enrolled in our TMD department, Jennifer Pasula. Woo-hoo. Jennifer
Hang on. Quick. Jennifer Pazula graduated from Mercyhurst College in Pennsylvania with a degree in fashion merchandising. She is finishing her Master of Science degree this year at URI, having concentrated on textile conservation and costume history. Recently, she curated the current textile gallery exhibition, From Kitchen to Kitsch, Aprons from the 17th Century to the Present, and she gave a wonderful presentation at an opening that we had. She has been a teaching assistant for the past 2 years. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let me share with you just a minor point of irony. Last year, all the recipients showed up, but they all got empty envelopes because we didn't have the checks ready. This year, we have the checks. Next year, we'll get it right. I'm very pleased, I think, to see that the judges have slid back into their seats, which must mean that the results are ready. And so, assuming that's true, I'm going to ask my colleague, Dr. Susan Hannell, to emerge and announce the prize winners. Oh, sorry.
Okay. So the judges have said that this is the toughest year they've ever had. And you could probably agree. Okay, so I always have a group of people to thank, and it takes a lot of dedicated people to do this. First of all, I'd like to thank Karen Conopast and her students in her independent study class, which planned this event, and specifically 3 students that I've spent a lot of today kind of yelling at. I apologize. Lindsay Tatis, who organized the music and did the video. Rachel Whitaker and Vanessa Weissman, who helped with staging and the program insert. I'd like to thank Caitlin Lamb. Is Caitlin here? I didn't see Caitlin. Caitlin is a fine arts photography major who agreed to, for free, photograph our students for the judging round. And this took the better part of an afternoon, and it can be kind of tedious. And I had emailed her 2 days before, and she graciously agreed to do this. So I'm very thankful for her. I'd also like to remember to thank the friends, sisters, roommates who agreed to be models for the many hours of judging and rehearsals. Excuse me, they also got yelled at a little bit tonight too. You probably heard me when you were waiting for us. Yeah, so it takes quite a commitment on their part as well, and we do thank them. They told me to say this, and I knew I'd get teary, and I do every year, and I'm sorry. This is an exceptional group of students. I'm very proud of them. They all worked outside their classes to create the collections you've seen tonight. I emphasize that every time, because I know some of you think that they're doing this in classes, that they have collection development classes. Well, we don't yet. And only 3 of the 16 collections were actually part of independent study classes. The rest of the students carved out time between classes, in the evenings, and on the weekends to conceptualize and then create their garments. In fact, I want you to know that not a single one of these students was lounging on a beach in Cancun during spring break. They were in the studio working, okay? That studio was full of students during spring break. I know that with these work ethics and their creativity, they will go very far in the industry. Okay, so the first award is Most Innovative. The judges said about this collection that they didn't know what was going to come out next, that it was that interesting and exciting to them. I would like to give we and the judges would like to award Jillian Winfield with Most Innovative Collection. Jillian, are you back there? Don't be shy.
Wow, thank you so much. I worked so hard, and my models are so great, and my makeup person is so great, Stephanie, and my hair person. I'm just so happy with the way everything went, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Okay, do the rest of the designers have shoes on? Can we be ready for the next stage? Okay. The next collection, the judges described as lovely, strong, cohesive, beautiful, elegant collection. We'd like to award the most marketable collection to Diana Villarreal.
I just want to give thanks to my family and my boyfriend for being very patient with me and supporting with all of this. And before everybody, thank God, because he's really helped me with everything, and I'm really thankful. So thank you.
The next collection, or should I say collections, were described as gorgeous and couture quality. Sorry for the abused French. We want to award Best Zone Quality to Sonia Josiah.
Thank you, guys. I just want to say thanks to my models, even though I've been not your best friend today, but thanks so much for all your support and dedication. And I love you guys. Thank you so much.
The next collections were described as, or I should say the designer, was described as so talented and has so much potential. The Judge's Choice Award goes to Nick Cloutier. Say something?
Thank you so much. It's just the beginning. But it's definitely a group effort. I mean, I've had so much help from all of my family members and everything, and I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of them. And thank you for helping me every step of the way. I'll never, ever, ever forget who was there for me when I needed it the most. Thank you.
The last award is Audience Favorite. And that award, are you guys ready back there? Goes once again to Amanda Ravner. Amanda had 32 votes. Nick and Cindy Yang and Nick had 25, and Tricia had 15. Those were our top placers. So, whoops.
Congratulations. I just want to thank my family and friends for being here and my beautiful patient models. Thank you.
Nice work, everybody. Nice work. We're nearly at the end of the program. Before we get to the wrap-up, just a few more credits. You've met all my faculty colleagues, bar one. You didn't see Dr. Yvette Harp-Slogan. Her fashion promotion class put up display cases in Quinn Hall to help promote the event. And Yvette was also recently named the campus APAW, Professional and Academic Woman of the Year. You've heard from people from Karen Konopak's students who did a lot of the organizing for this. I also should mention that the design of the logo for the program and the invitation was by graduate student Yitong Wang. If you were at the Alumni Center this evening, you saw the draping class designs on mannequins. Many of you will have dealt with Nina Matthewson in our office, who's handled the checks, the phone calls, and so on. And finally, I'd like to mention our Textile Advisory Board. These professionals give their time and expertise to our program and make sure that we maintain currency and relevance in our teaching and provide sound advice to our students. The members this evening that I know are here: Bethany Pollock, Susan Cohen, Claudia Yanucci, and Evelyn Kennedy Comentucci. The inspiration for our first Spring Splash came from that board, and we could never have foreseen the success of the first one, or that we would still be getting bigger and better 9 years later. But we are. We provided a very public stage for some very creative students, a sense of teamwork for those working in support. We've celebrated the achievement of many alumni over the years and thanked many and varied industry partners for their help and support in what we do. Most importantly, the scholarships have been able to support the education of many students, and money cannot be spent in a better way. So next year's number 10, we will be back. We're going to start work fairly quickly on organizing that, and we hope to see you all here again next year. Have a safe trip home. Good night.